Um, well, we wanted to try to make a few changes. Like I've always felt coming after when we won some of those years in Chicago, I never thought it made sense to bring everybody back. I always like to have a little bit of newness to the group. Whether you win or lose, I think it's important to try to have some guys that weren't part of that group.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman spoke after losing another Stanley Cup Final. What he said surprised fans, players, and NHL teams across North America. He didn't wait. He didn't guess. He told the world what was next. His message was sharp. His timing was fast. The entire league listened closely. The shock didn't come from losing. It came from what he said next. Stan Bowman became general manager of the Edmonton Oilers in July 2024. Bowman had not worked in the NHL since leaving the Chicago Blackhawks in 2021. He returned after the NHL cleared him to work again. In Chicago, he won 3 Stanley Cups as general manager. He came to Edmonton with one goal: build a winning team again. Oilers lost the Stanley Cup Final to the Florida Panthers. Bowman faced the media, but Bowman didn't wait to explain what would happen next. He said, "Connor's the best player in the league. He's our captain. He's our leader. So certainly, he's the #1 priority." That was his first big message. It meant that Bowman planned to do everything he could to keep Connor McDavid in Edmonton. McDavid's contract ends in 2026. That's just 1 year away. Teams across the league are watching. They want to know if McDavid will stay or leave. Bowman answered that clearly. He said keeping McDavid is his top job. Then Bowman added more. And I think also listening to Connor's take on things is warranted, considering he's earned the right for us to be respectful of his timing. That means Bowman is ready to wait for McDavid to decide when to talk. He isn't pushing him. He said, "We're certainly eager to meet with him whenever he wants, but also understanding that he just went through a very tough ending to the season. So timing-wise, that's going to drive that process." Nurse has a no-trade clause in his contract. That means the team can't move him unless he agrees. Bowman asked him to consider leaving. Nurse said no. Nurse's contract runs through 2030. He makes $9.25 million each year. That is a big number under the NHL salary cap. The salary cap in 2025-26 is $97 million. By asking Nurse to waive his clause, Bowman showed he is ready to change the team's structure. He wants to make space for new deals, especially McDavid's. The Oilers already signed Leon Draisaitl to an 8-year, $112 million contract. His new deal started this season. That means McDavid's contract could be even bigger. He also said that McDavid's leadership matters in team choices. He said the Oilers would listen to McDavid's view on changes. That means McDavid is not just a player. He's part of team planning. During the season, McDavid scored over 100 points in just 67 games. He led all players in the 2025 playoffs with 33 points. That followed his 42 playoff points in 2024. The Oilers know they are close, but Bowman believes they need changes to take the final step. He said that's why these decisions are so important. He made it clear the time to act is now. Bowman also made roster moves to prepare. He traded picks and signed players like Victor Arvidsson, Andrew Mangiapane, and Curtis Lazar. He brought in defenseman Riley Stillman and goaltender Matt Tompkins. Each move was part of the plan to build depth and create cap room. All of this happened before July 1st. That's when McDavid becomes eligible to sign a new deal. NHL rules say a player can sign an extension 1 year before their contract ends. Bowman's approach caught attention across the NHL. Most GMs speak carefully. Bowman was clear. He said what the team's top goal is. He said who leads the plan. He said what changes are coming. That kind of honesty surprised people. Fans across the league reacted. Some were shocked. Some were impressed. Some wondered if the Oilers would trade players like Nurse or others next. Every team knows McDavid is the key. Bowman's message sent a signal. When asked about pressure, Bowman didn't dodge. He said, "When you have a player like Connor, you don't rebuild, you reload." That's what Edmonton is doing. Reporters asked what happens if McDavid says no. Bowman said he believes in the relationship they have built. He said, "Connor knows how we feel. Now it's about timing." He did not sound worried. The Oilers finished the season with 112 points. That was second in the league. They beat the Stars and Avalanche in the playoffs, but they lost to the Panthers again. Bowman also hinted at future trades. He said they are always looking at options. That includes adding players or moving contracts. The Oilers want to keep their top players and still add talent. He said the goal is to build a team that can win over time. That means not just one season. Bowman wants to win for years. That's why the McDavid deal matters so much. Some fans worry McDavid will leave. He has said he wants to win. He has not said if he will stay. Bowman knows this. That's why his public message was so strong. He wants McDavid to see that Edmonton is ready. And if McDavid signs, it will shape the NHL for a decade. His next deal could be worth more than $120 million. Only a few teams can afford that. Edmonton is trying to be one of them. For now, Bowman waits, but he has already made his move. His decision was to speak early, to act fast, to be clear. That shocked the league. The Oilers are not sitting still. Their GM has spoken. Their star has the spotlight. And now the NHL waits to see what happens next. Connor McDavid told reporters he wasn't in a rush to talk contracts. Now, weeks later, there's been nothing. With the team in off-season limbo and big names signing elsewhere, McDavid's silence now speaks louder than ever. The Oilers are waiting. The fans are waiting. But the captain still isn't saying anything. McDavid's silence is now a problem. And this silence could change everything for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid is the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. He is one of the best hockey players in the world. McDavid has played his whole NHL career in Edmonton since the team picked him first in the 2015 NHL draft. His current contract is an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That deal ends in July 2026. Right now, McDavid still has 1 year left on that contract. He will be allowed to sign a new deal starting on July 1st, 2025. If he does not sign, he becomes a free agent in 2026. That means any team in the league could offer him a deal. But so far, McDavid has not said if he will stay or leave. After the Oilers lost in the 2025 Stanley Cup Final to the Florida Panthers, reporters asked McDavid about his future. He answered, "It's only been a couple days since the season ended. I'm going to take some time to regroup, but there's no rush on anything like that." He also said, "If I feel there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That was the last time he spoke about it. McDavid's numbers this season were very strong. He had 74 assists in the regular season. He scored 33 points in 22 playoff games. He had 7 goals and 26 assists. His teammate Leon Draisaitl had the same playoff point total, but McDavid still hasn't said what he will do about his contract. The fans don't know. The team doesn't know. Other NHL teams are now watching closely. Stan Bowman is the general manager of the Oilers. He said, "He's the best player in the league, most important player in the league. He's our captain. He's our leader." Bowman said the team's #1 priority is to keep McDavid. He also said the contract talks will happen when McDavid is ready. But NHL free agency is already moving fast. Teams are signing players. The Oilers have to make choices about who to keep, who to sign, and how to build next season's team. But without knowing what McDavid wants, the team can't plan fully. That has caused a problem. If McDavid leaves, it could be a very big problem. The Oilers have made the playoffs 6 years in a row. They made the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row, but they lost both times. Some sports writers are saying McDavid might not want to wait much longer. If he doesn't think the team can win soon, he could decide to go somewhere else. Leon Draisaitl, McDavid's teammate and top scorer, signed a new deal last year. That deal is for 8 years and $112 million. If McDavid stays, he will likely make even more. Some reports say McDavid could become the highest-paid player in the league. But that would mean the team has less money to spend on other players. If McDavid stays quiet much longer, the Oilers could be forced to trade him. They won't want to lose him in free agency for nothing. That's why some experts are saying the team needs to know soon. One article said McDavid's silence is wrecking the Oilers' free agency plans. Jeff Jackson is the CEO of the Oilers. He also used to be McDavid's agent. He said the next season will help decide everything. The team will wait, but not forever. Other teams, like the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, are already being mentioned as possible new homes for McDavid. Right now, every NHL team is watching. If McDavid doesn't say anything by the start of the season, the rumors will grow. Teams will begin making offers. Fans will keep asking questions. Even McDavid's teammates might start to worry. The Oilers had a record of 48 wins, 29 losses, and 5 overtime losses this past season. That was good enough to make the playoffs. They went all the way to the finals but lost to the Panthers in 6 games. McDavid led the team in assists and was one of the top playoff performers in the entire league. But now all of that is in the past. The team needs to know what comes next. Free agents are being signed by other teams. The Oilers can't wait forever. And yet, McDavid says nothing. The pressure is building.
You know, I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, I'm just not in a rush that way.
Something big is coming to hockey, and it's not just about one team. On July 1st, Connor McDavid will make a move no one saw coming. That move could change how the best players in the league get paid. It will break a rule that stars have followed for years. What happens next may change the NHL forever.
You know, winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem.
Connor McDavid is one of the best hockey players in the world. He plays for the Edmonton Oilers. He has scored more than 100 points in many seasons. He has won the MVP award 3 times. He led the Oilers to the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row. But on July 1st, the big story won't be about goals or assists. It will be about money, contracts, and something much bigger. McDavid signed his last contract in 2017. It was an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That means he has been making $12.5 million every year. This deal ends in 2026. But NHL rules say a player can start talking about a new contract 2 years before the old one ends. So on July 1st, 2025, McDavid will be allowed to sign a new deal. Most top players sign the longest deal possible. That's usually 8 years. It gives them more safety and helps the team plan for a long time. But this time, McDavid is expected to do something very different. Reporters say that McDavid might not want a long contract. Instead, he could ask for a shorter one, maybe just 4 years. Some people even say he could sign for only 2 or 3 years. This is something very few superstars have done. Why would McDavid want a short deal? The answer is the salary cap. The salary cap is the most money a team can spend on its players. This year, the cap is $88 million. Next year, it will go up to $97 million. In a few years, it might go even higher. If McDavid signs a short contract now, he can sign another one later when the cap is much bigger. That means he could make even more money. Other players have done this. Austin Matthews signed a 5-year deal in 2019. In 2023, he signed a 4-year deal. Leon Draisaitl just signed an 8-year deal for $112 million. But McDavid might want something shorter than all of them. Connor McDavid hasn't said much about his plans, but he did say this to NHL.com after the season. "I'm not in a rush to make any decision." He also said, "I need to do what's best for me and my family." These are clues that he is thinking very carefully. The Edmonton Oilers also know what's happening. Their new general manager, Stan Bowman, says he wants to keep McDavid. But McDavid said something important. He said, "If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That means he wants to be sure the team can keep winning. If McDavid signs a short deal, he will be a free agent again in 2029 or 2030. That means other teams will have a chance to try and sign him. Teams like the Maple Leafs, Panthers, Kings, and Flyers might all be watching. If McDavid becomes a free agent, they might try to get him. Experts are saying this could change how NHL contracts work. Sports writer Pierre LeBrun said, "There's a good chance McDavid will sign a shorter deal instead of an 8-year max one." ESPN's Greg Wyshynski said, "It's not just about money, it's about power and timing." Connor McDavid had another amazing season. In 2024 to 2025, he scored 100 points in 67 games. In the playoffs, he scored 33 points in 22 games. That was the most in the league. He was named playoff MVP, even though the Oilers lost in the finals. Because of his great numbers, McDavid is more valuable than ever. If he signs a short deal, he can sign again in a few years for a lot more money. Some people believe he could make over $18 million per year in his next deal. That would be the highest ever in NHL history. This kind of deal gives the player more power. Usually teams like long contracts, but short deals let players choose more often. They can pick better teams or wait for the salary cap to go up. That's why this is such a big deal. Right now, McDavid has a $12.5 million cap hit. If he signs again soon, that number could go way up. If he waits, it might go even higher. And that's why this decision is so important. It affects not just him, but the whole NHL. Some reporters say McDavid may take a deal with only 2 or 3 years. That would give him the chance to test the market again very soon. And if he wins a Stanley Cup in that time, he could leave Edmonton as a free agent and pick any team he wants. Connor McDavid's next contract could change everything. It might change how young players sign their first big deals. It might change how teams plan their future. And it might change how much money top stars can make. This is why so many people are watching July 1st. That's the day McDavid is allowed to start contract talks. If he signs a short deal, other players may copy him. That could mean big changes in the NHL's old contract system. And if McDavid does leave Edmonton in a few years, it could be one of the biggest moves in NHL history. Teams will spend a lot of money to get a player like him. But right now, the Oilers still have a chance to keep him. Whether he signs for 2 years, 4 years, or 8 years, McDavid is changing the game, not just on the ice, but at the contract table. He didn't need to say a lot. Just by thinking about a short deal, he has already made waves across the NHL. On July 1st, the hockey world will be watching because what Connor McDavid chooses to do next might change everything.